What's up, New York? You're here with Kylie Pax, Australia's emotional eating coach. We are here in gorgeous sunny Queensland.
Mine is Kylie Pax, and Kylie.
I am so excited to be here in Dallas. You're here with Kylie Pax, Australia's emotional eating
It's
coach.
Kylie Pax, Kylie Pax, Australia's emotional eating coach. Australia's emotional eating coach. Kylie Pax, Kylie Pax, Kylie Pax.
I say we, like I've dragged you all into my drama. I've had like the week from hell. I've just classified it now, the week from hell. And I don't have a lot of them, but yeah, it wasn't the funnest week. Like I'm not going to rank it up there with the highlights of my life. It wasn't the funnest week on my calendar of experiences, but these things happen. These things happen, and we have had a myriad of topics this week that we've covered. We have covered, like it's been a real mishmash this week because I started the week, I said, okay, we're going to start with the theme this week. Every week we have a theme. The theme was going to be encouragement. And it was. The theme was encouragement for this week. And we covered so many topics, and I was thinking about it that like now, just before we went live, and I just thought, what an odd and peculiar week, but what a phenomenal week. There was so many like juicy tidbits in there, better than a chocolate chip cookie, to help you take the examples of my week from hell so that you can move forward. We covered everything from depression to digestive issues. I told you all about the way we wander around in the darkness and then complain and whinge and cry and wonder why we're not getting the things that we wanted. That I had put something in the microwave for my little fur baby. Miss Molly was her food, right? And as I went into the room where the microwave was, it was pitch black. There was no lights on in there. It's in the shed, like whole nother story for another time, right? The microwave is in the shed. So as I opened the door to go, I could hear it. It was beeping. I could hear it. I could see the light. So not only was this thing beeping at me, it also was shining a light at me, telling me, move forward in this direction. Everything you want is right here. And I said, this is what we do in life. We see the beeping light. We see the light, we hear the beeping. And instead of moving forward in the direction of where we know what we want is, we just turn around and go, no thanks. I'm just going to wander around into the darkness over here, bumping into random things and hope that I get what I want. Then we complain and cry and think, this is never going to happen for me. Why can't I lose weight? Why can't I control myself around food? Why can't I bring chocolate into the house and stay sane? Why is this for everybody else and not for me? Why does my body look like this? Why doesn't it look like that? We are wandering around in the darkness. The light and the sound, the beeping, it's all coming from over here. It's saying, come hither. Everything you want is right here. Everything you want is right here. And we just go, nah, that's cool. I'm going to wander around over here. I'm going to see if there's something better for me over here. And we just clonk into things and then wonder why we're so miserable, why we keep getting hurt, why we don't get the results that we want. It's calling you over here. It's not rocket science, but we ignore the light and the sound, everything. It's like a cinematic experience. Come this way. Everything you want is over here. We know instinctually because, I knew I had to walk over to the microwave to get the food out for my fur baby, Miss Molly. I wasn't confused. It was not a hard thing for me to think about. I knew it was over there. It was very obvious. That is where what I wanted was. How stupid of me would it be to just go, oh, that can't be right. I'm just going to wander around here in the darkness. Hope that maybe I'll find something over here that's, equally as good or better. Bumping into things in the darkness, wondering why I'm not getting what I want. That is the gist. The light, the sound, instinctually I knew I needed to walk over there and get what I wanted out of the microwave. Only a crazy person would wander off into the darkness thinking that I was going to get what I wanted from somewhere over here. But this is what we do with our lives. We know instinctually the right moves to take, the right actions to carry out, the right way to, control ourselves around food, behave, talk, the right way to talk to ourselves. We know these things, but we carry on like little pork chops, right? Wandering around in the darkness, thinking that maybe if we just do something else random, it's going to somehow get us the results that we want. So these are the sorts of things that we covered this week. We also covered depression, talked about that, right? And that's something that not a lot of people talk about. They don't. Why? Because it's not a fun topic. It's not fun. I make it fun because that's just the kind of girl that I am. But it's not something that people just, go out and start blabbing to friends about, oh, I'm so depressed. They don't. They put on the smiley face, pretend like everything's fine, and then we come home and eat ourselves into oblivion because we are so miserable with ourselves, our lives, and our body, which of course, compounds the situation. So now, if you didn't, if you were not dissatisfied with your body before, because this is how it was for me, I spent years, many years, very, very, very depressed. Like I'm not talking, oh, I feel a little down. I'm talking like, serious, chronic depression for years, right? So that's not just a random thing. And I did just say, on the live stream where we talked about that as well, I definitely don't want to sort of dismiss anything like that. And I would never encourage anybody to just power their way through. It is a chemical imbalance. Like there's nothing wrong with you. There's just something that's not connecting right up here, right? So definitely take the action that feels right and aligned for you. Seek medical and professional advice. But, I spent really years in a very dark place. And what I had said on that particular live stream was like, it felt to me like if I look out my window now, there's not a cloud in the sky. Like, hallelujah, right? We've actually got a beautiful day here. Stunning. We have a beautiful day. There's not a cloud in the sky. I see beautiful blue sky, but this is how it feels when you're really, really depressed. And whether you're not even like chronically depressed, but just feeling down about yourself, your life, your body, the way you can't control yourself around food. What it felt like to me was that the whole world was living a carnival with clowns and dancing things and women doing their fabulous and tightrope walking and fairies were dancing, but not me. No. It was like I was getting around with a cloud over my head and Kylie had just rain, a grey storm cloud and rain, and I could not see. I couldn't see anything else apart from just deep, deep sorrow. There was no explanation for it. I just felt daily, 24/7, deep sorrow. And I know it's different for everybody else. Somebody would say to me, why? I would just cry all the time. And they were like, why, what? And I'm like, I literally could not explain it. I just felt a deep sorrow. I was so miserable inside and I did not know how to fix that. So I turned to food. Of course I did. What else was I going to turn to? We all have our thing, which is why we're here talking together. We all have our thing. Some people do alcohol, drugs, cigarettes. Us, generally we'll go to food. I don't go to the other stuff. It's just not my thing, right? So I will turn to food, and that is what I did, which of course I would come home at night. I would put on the face. I would put on the smiley face, right? Paint that face on with, lipstick like this. Pretend like everything was fine. I would go to work. I was working in a corporate environment at that time. Pretend like everything's fine. It's totally fine. Hey, Kylie, how you doing? Great. Like this sort of delirium, like of this wacky thing, like overkill. And then I would come home at night because I was exhausted from faking it all day, that I would just come home, buy a monumental, every single night, I would buy a monumental, epic size of, army size bag of chips. And I would come home in front of the TV, sit there, cry and eat the chips. And I did this, for months. And of course I gained weight. So that compounded everything, made it much more miserable. So these are the types of things we cover this week. And it was a week of encouragement. Every week at the start of the week, I set the theme. And I don't just sort of decide, I usually decide in the beginning of the first live stream, whatever the theme is that's coming up is what we go with. And it just so happens, not surprisingly, that it rolls out for the entire week. And the week started with my horror story from last weekend where I had created, mega drama, which is so unlike me to create some kind of mega drama, but I did. And that actually rolled onto as being sort of the theme of my week, which is why encouragement was the thing. So as we wrap it up this, today at the close of this week, I really want to encourage you all, as we stay on topic, just encourage you to come at your decisions and everything that you do in life from a place of love and kindness for yourself. Love and kindness. It is it's the theme of everything I do. It's the underlying foundation behind a lot of the courses and the things that I run, because you're never going to see the results that you want in any area of your life if you're coming from a place of disgust and self-hatred with and about yourself. It's just not possible. Yesterday I mentioned, we were talking about the digestive issues, and I mentioned that I have to do this, the hideous low FODMAP. hideous low FODMAP diet. Like if anybody else has had to do this thing, like just, throw it there in the comments box and let me know, because it's not a lot of fun. There are a lot of choices and things that you would normally eat that get whipped away from you. They're taken away, and you just got to eat what, they tell you to eat. And I had to eventually come to terms with that and just go, that is not fun for me. I like to have freedom of food choices, but I had to approach it from a place of love and kindness for myself. This FODMAP thing is not trying to deprive me and take things away from me. It's trying to give me something. It's trying to give me back my, digestive health. So when you switch your mindset, switch perception. Yesterday I said everything that you do and see and believe runs first through the filters of your perception. And based on that, you decide what things mean, how they are, how good they are or how bad they are. It's all run through your perception, which is why two people can have the exact same experience, but they will come out with a different story to tell, because it's all seen through the filter of your perception. So as we round out this week, I just really want to encourage you to check your filters. Check your filter, like a coffee filter, right? What filters are you using up here? Are you using positive ones, empowering ones, encouraging ones, or ones that make you feel bleh and give you bleh results? Bleh is not fun. Nobody likes bleh. We don't want it, right? So change your filters. If they're dirty, right, like a coffee filter, if your filters are dirty, change them. Step up. Change your filters, people. Change your filters. Get ones that are going to give you the results that you want. So choose accordingly. Choose accordingly. Nobody else can do this for you. But the good news is you have the power. You've always had the power. You've always had the power and the ability to check your filters and change them when they're dirty. So this is about changing the filters, changing perception. It is about overcoming every single last block that is holding you back, everything that stands between you and the body that you want. Because you hear me say all the time, anybody can lose weight. A trained monkey can lose weight. That is not hard. It is the blocks that are stopping you from keeping that weight off. The blocks that every time you lose 5 kilos, you gain back 15. Every time you lose 20 kilos, you gain back 35. Like, what is up with that? If we don't step up and go, I've had enough of the self-sabotage. I am so done with this. I know I demand more. I know I deserve more, and I demand more. You will never ever solve these issues if you don't find out what the underlying beliefs are. That's what it's all about. So once we know, we can create new and empowering ones. We can completely change the way our brains are wired. But it's not going to happen just in your sleep. It's not going to happen with another diet. It's not going to happen with any meal replacement shakes, pills. It doesn't matter what you do. If you don't step up and take responsibility for the underlying foundation of what is causing you, the perceptions, the filters, then nothing will change. I'm just saying. I'm just being real, because I know because I lived it for 30 years. I often say I feel like I must be the world's slowest learner. Like if you just looked up world's slowest learner in Guinness Book of Records, I'm quite sure you'd see my smiley face there, because I just couldn't accept. I just thought diets have to be the way, because that's what they tell us. They say that you got to do this, you got to eat this, you got to move your body like this, and then you're going to be deliriously happy forever. And you'd be like, yeah, I'm going to look like a Victoria's Secret model. I just have to do what they say. But they lied. I'm sorry. I'm just going to put it out there. It's actually not true. First of all, a body shape isn't going to give you eternal bliss like they told me that it was. You've heard my story before. I lost all the mega weight in the world with one of the fancy diets. Like really, I got really, really skinny. Not, looking fabulous. I'm talking real skinny. And that's when my marriage fell apart. So, did the fabulous body allow me to feel eternal bliss? No. That was the most painful period of my life. No, my world fell apart when I was finally in my fabulous body that I thought I'd always wanted. I was in the most painful experience I'd ever been in. So, because I had never bothered to take the time to find out what my own self-sabotaging patterns were, I just ate my way through the experience and gained back 15 kilos. And, there you go. Another story for another time. But I give you this example to say that if we don't step up and take responsibility for our own filters, then just don't expect things to change. That's the bottom line. There is always an avenue and there is always a way, but you have to step up and take responsibility and go, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm prepared to change my filters, and whatever it takes is what I will do. Drop your comments and questions below. I will always come back and play with you later. Until then, you know how we roll. The only person who has the power to change your life is you. When you decide that you have the power to change your own filters, that is when you've got what it takes. Until next week, I'm sending you so much love. Bye for now, sexy people. Thank you so much for spending time with me this week. I have loved being with you all. Remember, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. And as always, the only person who has the power to change your life is you. And the very best part, you've got what it takes. Sending you so much love. I will see you next week. Until then, bye for now.